Get a load of that. 12 years old with 13,836 miles. Kind of crazy, huh? And I would argue that you could almost eat off the bottom of this vehicle here. What say you? This right here, I'm afraid we've just gotten away from with so many new vehicles nowadays. So many new vehicles are just seemingly less concerned about running 10, 15, 20 years with minimal issue, right? They're more concerned about making throwaway vehicles, for lack of better terms. Vehicles that you drive for 3 to 5 years, something starts going wrong, pretty catastrophic, and then people trade them in. They trade them out. We got a puppy dog feature, well, and a bugaboo feature. We got Zazobin, and we got Zook. Hi, buddy. Good boy. He's over it. I'm not just preaching to you guys. I'm practicing what I preach. I'm walking the walk here rather than just talking it. Nobody has ever sat back here. Throughout the entire life of this vehicle, nobody has actually sat in these back seats. And honestly, a big part of the reason why we ended up building this house at this location is because of the view. We love the view here. We appreciate having some breathing room, some elbow space. And that's what this particular lot afforded us. Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So I am currently sitting in my new to me 2013 Lexus GX460. This one here, although 12 years old, it only has 13,000 miles on it. So before I jump into it, I'll do a quick shout out to Eddie out in South Carolina. He is the same gentleman that actually sold me my 2021 Toyota Tundra TRD PRO, my Lunar Rock one, if you guys remember. So that wasn't all that long ago. So shout out to him. He reached out and he said, hey, I got this 2013 GX460, very low miles on it. Would you be interested in it? And well, here we are just a few weeks later. Shout out Eddie. So in today's video, I'm just going to do a highlight of it, show you inside, outside, underneath, and really show you the exceptional condition that this vehicle is in, and really explain why I bought it. There's a few reasons, to include just trying to avoid having an auto loan payment. That's actually my New Year's resolution, as silly as it is to say, but I want to avoid being suffocated by auto loan payments. Not to mention, we have some pretty big moves here on the horizon that I'm going to talk through in this video, so stick with me. With auto loan delinquencies through the roof right now, it's really no surprise that a lot of people are doing just this. They're going out and buying a used vehicle and saving a ton compared to the astronomically priced new vehicles that are out there today. This won't surprise many of you, but we are currently seeing the highest level of 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day auto loan delinquencies, the highest that we have seen since the 08-09 recession. Let that sink in. With the national average monthly payment on a new vehicle purchase being over $760, I gotta tell you, it is quite liberating to be set free from monthly payments. Buying this outright, although it isn't my favorite vehicle in the world, I can at least drive it with phenomenal peace of mind. I know that this is always going to start, and really, that's priceless to a lot of people. I tell you what, I have a lot more confidence in driving that 12-year-old Lexus over there comparatively to my 5-year-old Ford Expedition here. The Ford Expedition has about 55,000 miles on it. Again, far less on the Lexus, but even if they had the same miles, or even if the Lexus had 100,000 miles, I would still put my money on that 4.6 liter V8 compared to the 3.5 liter turbocharged EcoBoost that we find in the Expedition here. This is a lot more complex, a lot more bells and whistles, and well, quite frankly, far less reliable. Let's be honest, there are not too many options out there that can comfortably seat a family of 6. We're about ready to be a family of 7, and well, the Expedition, it does fit the bill, and thankfully, knock on wood, it has been reliable for us so far. It's just a matter of time though, I suppose. So we'll start with an abbreviated walk around of the exterior here of the GX460, and I'll kind of talk through the main reasons why I ended up choosing this vehicle compared to the competition at the price point anyway. Here's that 12-year-old key fob for the Lexus GX460 here. Overall, I get a lot of the same feeling that I did when I drove my 200 Series Land Cruiser Heritage Edition, which begs the question, why didn't I just go buy one of them? Well, the price points are hugely different. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm purposely trying to avoid any kind of auto loans. And this one here, I was able to, go cut a check for it and just buy it outright. Thankfully, without having to take on a astronomical loan for a 200 Series Land Cruiser Heritage Edition. If you looked at their prices lately, many of them are still $80,000 to $90,000. Even with low miles on them, they're $90,000 plus. So I have a hard time justifying that, especially right now. I'll talk about it later in the video, but we are actually moving. There you go, get an idea there. We are moving here in August, September. We're building a house just north of town. Although we love our neighborhood here, we do miss having some elbow room. We miss having some space. So we're moving out to 13 acres just north of town. So more to follow on that. But overall, the condition of the Lexus here is in phenomenal condition. This is really the major blemish of the entire vehicle. One rock chip right there. It really is exceptional condition. If you can kind of get past the dirt on it right now. Well, this isn't going to be the best look. Forgive me in advance. So all that is dirt, as you'd imagine. Really no rust underneath here. And one thing that Eddie did do before selling it to me is he did a full pre-sale inspection. He took it to Lexus, they checked it out, and it was perfect in and out. Mechanically, everything. You know that I recently had a Lexus GX460, the previous generation to this one here, but the mileage on that one was very different compared to this one. The mileage on that one was 192,000 when I sold it. And well, this one here, 13,000 miles on it. So this really is, it feels and it smells brand new in here. Even the roof, everything is just exceptional. Everything works, as you'd imagine. The seats are extremely comfortable. Get my shadow out of the way. No scuffs. Very minimal wear over there on that one. So it really was, for lack of better terms, a barn find. And Eddie, he hadn't had it for that long either. He bought it from someone who obviously just didn't drive it. Show you out back. This does have the third row. It does have the third row underneath. Here's the controls for it there. It's just underneath the mats here. But get a pretty good idea of just the overall condition. And I know normally I don't post this type of content, at least lately on my channel. So hopefully at least a handful of you can appreciate this. I'm not going to be able to really show you in the video, but no door dings down the side. That's a tow package out back for fun. I'll show you underneath it out from the back side here. Kind of show you down the angles here if anyone cares to see this kind of stuff. Obviously from the window tint I did the other day. For those of you who care, it is 15%. 15%. So this is generally where you're going to get the most wear on the interior. So not bad. A little bit. Just even the steering wheel, there's just no wear within this. And you know, sometimes you feel some wear, but not at all. But on the brake, get a little Lexus sequence over here. And there's the mileage right there. Kind of crazy, huh? And that reddish tint to the wood here, which, you know, I'm indifferent to really, but it does feel nice to the touch anyway. Same goes for the doors. More of that red trim, wood trim there, metal bezels, and this is a real metal. You can kind of feel, kind of like what I had in my 200 series Land Cruiser, the same feeling to it. Doesn't feel chintzy, doesn't feel plasticky. It feels really nice, but yet it does maintain that very simplistic feel in and out. So something that I always really appreciate about all my vehicles. You know, even the 2020 Ford Expedition over there, things have just gotten far too complex and too busy in and out. Too much tech, too much creature comforts, and more things to fail and break. These here, I don't need to tell you, if you've been following Lexus for any length of time, this 4.6 liter V8 underneath the hood, which I'll show you here in a second, has a tremendous reputation. This entire vehicle does. Based on the Prado Land Cruiser, this here has developed an exceptional reputation when it comes to reliability. Everything just works, minimal maintenance, minimal headache, and really a great track record without any major issues with this. So many people, over 300,000 miles with them, sometimes up to 500,000 miles on this particular platform. It just holds together extremely well. So this right here, not even broken in yet, truly, for this platform. Let me pop the hood. It does have struts, and forgive me, it's a little windy out here, guys. Automatic struts holding it up. But this right here is the heart of the beast. And this right here, I'm afraid we've just gotten away from with so many new vehicles nowadays. So many new vehicles are just seemingly less concerned about running 10, 15, 20 years with minimal issue, right? They're more concerned about making throwaway vehicles, for lack of better terms, vehicles that you drive for 3 to 5 years, something starts going wrong, pretty catastrophic, and then people trade them in. They trade them out rather than trying to fix it, maintain it, just because it's not worth it anymore. These here have held value extremely well because of that engine, because of that heart of the beast. They run forever, and people have really caught on to it. Not to mention a lot of people who have owned these GX460s and the GX470s, many of them, the first owners of them, really babied them. You know, they didn't really become a popular off-roading or overlanding vehicle until that second or third ownership many years down the road. So these generally have been very well kept. That's why a lot of people like them. And just because I forgot to show you, here is the back seat. Just, I would argue, and Eddie feels the same, nobody has ever sat back here. Throughout the entire life of this vehicle, nobody has actually sat in these back seats. At least definitely not for any length of time anyway. One more shot of that perfect headliner. Love it, love it. And one thing I didn't mention either before was just how solid the vehicle feels. These doors, very reminiscent of my 200 series that I had before. You know, let me make it clear too, I would certainly prefer getting a Heritage Edition Land Cruiser. I love that vehicle, but the price tags are just, yeah, they're out of touch with reality, unfortunately. And a couple companies have really just inflated and monopolized that market, unfortunately. So it's not something I'm as interested in anymore. So that does beg the question, how much do we pay? A lot of you are going to think I'm a complete lunatic, but I ended up spending $30,500 for my 12-year-old Lexus GX460 here. $30,500. That's not including the $1,300 that I paid in shipping, the transport from South Carolina to Wyoming here. So what is that? $31,800 is what I ultimately paid for this. That's not including tax and registration too, so I'm easily teetering toward that $33,000 mark. That's a lot of money to be spending on a 12-year-old vehicle, I understand, but hopefully some of you will appreciate the mileage on this and the overall condition. Obviously no accidents, perfect history. Yeah, and to me, there's not a whole lot of vehicles out there that you can buy for $30,000, $33,000 that will offer the same level of peace of mind. This is a proven platform, and that's why I ultimately jumped on it. The original MSRP on this back in 2013 was $56,000 and some change. This is not the premium. The premium was just a little bit more expensive, but honestly, I would prefer getting this one here. The premium comes with the active height control, that air suspension. I personally would prefer this. I prefer the KDSS, kinetic dynamic suspension system within this. It's far less likely to break in my opinion, and it's going to be better off-road if I were to choose to do that, right? So let me know, is there a better option that I should have considered for that price point? We definitely have a long ways to go. We're expecting a August-September finish time frame. I'll do a real quick abbreviated tour just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here if you care to see it. Let's go check it out. For starters, it will be nice to have a 4-car garage. That's what we got here. We have a 3-car garage, which is okay. I tell you what, with 4 kids, with the 5th one on the way, the garage space often gets filled pretty quick. So 4-car garage. Honestly, a big part of the reason why we ended up building this house at this location is because of the view. We love the view here. You know, we appreciate having the neighborhood life, which we moved into not so long ago, but I don't know. We appreciate having some breathing room, some elbow space, and that's what this particular lot afforded us. So I'll give you a quick glimpse of what this view looks like during the day. Much prettier at nighttime as the sun is setting, as you'd imagine. And while the view is really just as good downstairs, which, you know, we kind of sit up here on top of a hill, which gives us that overlook, which, if you know Wyoming at all, at least southeast Wyoming, there's not a whole lot of hills to be working with, so this is kind of a rare sight. Obviously, YouTube is a big part of our lives. We love doing this YouTube thing, but this house right here, it isn't happening because of YouTube. It happened because of the many years of school that I've gone through, the many years of a great career that I've had, a military career. That's why this is happening. This is how this is happening. This YouTube stuff is very much extra, so I want to kind of send that message, especially for the younger cats who watch my videos. You don't just make a YouTube channel and automatically be able to build a beautiful house. You know, you got to put in the work, you got to put in that extra effort. For me, it happened to be school. I did 12 years of college, ended up getting a bachelor's, master's, and a PhD, and I got a great career because of it, both on the military side as an officer and now as a civilian employee. So that is, I just want to kind of plug that message. I don't want to give the wrong signal that, hey, if you just pump out a bunch of videos about cars, you're going to get a great house. It doesn't work that way totally. And for whatever it's worth, not everybody needs to go to school in order to be quote unquote successful at all, right? I know a lot of people who ended up going a totally different track and they didn't go through college at all, and they have amazing, amazing careers and they make great income too. So you don't need to go through school. It's just a route that I did. What I've learned over the years is no matter what line of work you're in, as long as you have the right attitude, you have the willingness to learn, and you treat people very well, you treat them the way you want to be treated, well, good things are going to come your way. Good things are going to happen. And I honestly believe that. This thing, I can confidently drive this for several years. Very unlikely given my track record, I understand, but I could drive this for a very long time and really drive it with perfect peace of mind that this could easily go another 250,000 miles with minimal headache. So I know a lot of you follow my channel here for my car market analysis videos. I'll continue to do that, of course, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to share with you my personal vehicle purchase here. Oftentimes I like to just share this on my other YouTube channel called Untamed Reviews, more personal videos, but I figured it was worthwhile because a lot of the reasons why I ended up buying this GX460 are the reasons and points that I generally present to you guys in my car market analysis videos. So hopefully some of you can appreciate that. I'm not just preaching to you guys, I'm practicing what I preach. I'm walking the walk here rather than just talking it. So hopefully some of you can appreciate that. As always, I do respectfully request that you please consider liking and subscribing. If you appreciate this type of content whatsoever, let me know. If you want to see more of this kind of personal stuff, let me know. If you want to see less of it, also let me know. So thanks for watching as always. Until next time.